Welcome to LinesToGo installation videos. Today we will be removing and installing brake lines on a 2008 Chevy Cobalt with LinesToGo part number BL255A-SS. While this particular installation is on a 2008 Chevy Cobalt, this set of lines will also fit the following year, make, and models as shown on your screen now. LinesToGo lines are made using original equipment end forms and fittings that are CNC bent for an easy and precise installation. We have also upgraded to stainless steel braided Teflon hoses for rust protection and to prevent surface fouling. These have an unlimited shelf life and anti-static PTFE liner. This set of LinesToGo lines are made from 304L stainless steel for rust resistance that exceeds OEM standards. Tech tip: disconnect the battery before working on a vehicle to reduce the risk of shorting out the battery on tools or lines. LinesToGo lines are made with a sectional design for easier installation. We also use color-coded unions on our sectioned lines. Just match the colors of the connections. Tools required are 7mm, 10mm, 13mm, and 19mm sockets and ratchet, 10mm, 12mm, 13mm, and 14mm wrenches, flat blade screwdriver, a drain pan, cutting pliers, and a jack and jack stands. The level of difficulty for this installation is considered to be easy. Start by removing the trunk liner to gain access to the battery. Using a 10mm socket, disconnect the battery. Remove the plastic cover located in front of the fuse box. Remove the plastic engine cover by removing the oil cap and pulling up on the cover. Replace the oil cap so no debris can fall in. Hold back on the 3 locking tabs and lift up to remove the transmission control module and position it aside. Lift up on the powertrain control module and set it aside. Remove the fuse box cover by pulling up on the 2 locking tabs. Using a 10mm wrench, remove the positive jump start terminal and remove the 2 positive cables from the fuse box. At the back of the fuse box, remove the electrical connector using a flat blade screwdriver to push in on the locking tab. Remove the small metal ring securing the rear of the fuse box. Using a 13mm socket, loosen the 2 bolts securing the lower fuse box support. Remove the top hose off the coolant surge tank. Using a pair of pliers, remove the plastic clip securing the wiring harness to the fuse box support. Unclip the plastic tabs around the fuse box, securing it to the lower bracket, and remove the lower bracket from the vehicle. Using a 7mm socket, remove the 5 bolts securing the electrical connectors at the fuse box. Remove the 5 electrical connectors from the bottom of the fuse box and remove the fuse box. Position the wiring harness going to the fuse box out of the way. Using a flat blade screwdriver, unlock the clip on the side of the surge tank and position it aside. Using a 13mm wrench, remove the 2 threaded fittings at the master cylinder primary and secondary ports. Using a 13mm wrench, remove the 6 threaded fittings at the proportioning valve. Remove the brake lines from the plastic retaining bracket. Remove the primary and secondary lines from the vehicle. Remove the 2 plastic brackets from the brake lines located below the master cylinder using a flat blade screwdriver to unlock the clips. Remove all 4 wheels using a 19mm socket. Using a 13mm wrench, remove the threaded fitting from the left front flex line. Remove the left front brake line from the vehicle. Locate it behind the engine above the exhaust manifold. Cut the line going to the right front wheel using a pair of cutting pliers. Remove the line from the plastic clip located on the driver's side of the firewall. Using a flat screwdriver or pick, remove the fuel line from the plastic clip located at the firewall. Remove the left-hand side of the right front line from the vehicle. Using a 13mm wrench, remove the fitting at the right front flex line. Remove the line from the plastic clip located on the passenger side of the firewall. Remove the second section of the right front line from the vehicle. Using a pair of cutting pliers, cut both rear lines behind the front subframe. Remove the front section of both rear lines from the vehicle. Using a 13mm wrench, remove the threaded fitting at the left rear flex line. Use a flat blade screwdriver to remove the rear brake lines from the plastic retaining brackets located along the bottom of the vehicle. Remove the heat shielding from the lines located at the left rear of the axle. Use a flat screwdriver to remove the plastic clip securing the heat shield to the bottom of the fuel tank and bend the heat shield slightly down to gain access to the plastic bracket located beside it. Remove the rear section of the left rear line from the vehicle. Using a pair of cutting pliers, cut the right rear line at the left side of the rear axle. Remove the center section of the right rear line from the vehicle. At the rear of the vehicle, remove the vent line from the charcoal canister by pushing in on the plastic retaining clip. Remove the other 2 connections at the charcoal canister by pushing in on the 2 locking tabs located on either side of the connection and pulling back. Next, remove the 2 electrical connectors from the canister. Using a 10mm socket, remove the bolt located on the driver's side of the charcoal canister. Slide the charcoal canister to the left to remove it from the vehicle. Using a 13mm wrench, remove the threaded fitting from the right rear flex line. Remove the bolt securing the fuel filter bracket. Using a flat screwdriver, remove the right rear line from the 2 plastic retaining brackets located above the rear axle. Remove the final section of the right rear line from the vehicle. To install your new LinesToGo brake lines, start by installing the rear section of the right rear line into place and start the threaded fitting into the flex line by hand. Secure the line into the plastic retaining brackets located above the rear axle. Install the front section of the right rear line into place and start the threaded fitting into the proportioning block by hand. Feed the center section of the right rear line over the left rear park brake cable and start the front and rear threaded unions by hand, noting the LinesToGo color-coded connections. Tighten both threaded unions using a 12mm and a 14mm wrench. Tighten the threaded fittings at the right rear flex line and the proportioning block using a 14mm wrench. Install the front section of the left rear line into place and start the threaded fitting into the proportioning valve. Feed the rear section of the left rear line over the left rear park brake cable and start the threaded fitting at the flex line by hand. Start the threaded union located behind the front subframe by hand and tighten using a 12mm and a 14mm wrench. Tighten the threaded fitting at the left rear flex line and the proportioning valve using a 14mm wrench. Replace all of the plastic retaining clips on the rear lines located underneath the vehicle. Replace the plastic clip securing the heat shield into the fuel tank. Tighten the bolt securing the fuel filter bracket. Install the charcoal canister into position and secure it using a 10mm socket. Connect the 3 quick connect fittings located on the right side of the canister, followed by the 2 electrical connectors. Feed the left-hand side of the right front line into place, routing it under the steering shaft and behind the fuel lines. Install the second section of the right front line into place and start the threaded union located behind the engine and also the fitting at the flex line by hand. Tighten the union using a 12mm and a 14mm wrench. Install the line into the 2 plastic retaining clips located at both sides of the firewall. Tighten the threaded fitting at the flex line using a 14mm wrench. Replace the fuel line into the plastic retaining clip. Install the right front line into place and start the threaded fitting at the flex line. Start both the left front and right front threaded fittings into the proportioning valve. Tighten all of the fittings using a 14mm wrench. Install the primary and secondary lines into place and start the fittings into the master cylinder by hand. Start the 2 fittings into the proportioning valve by hand and tighten all 4 fittings using a 14mm wrench. Replace the plastic bracket securing all 6 lines located at the left front inner fender. Using a 13mm wrench, remove the 2 threaded fittings at the right rear flex line and the wheel cylinder. Remove the line from the vehicle. Install the new LinesToGo brake line into place and start both threaded fittings into the wheel cylinder and the right rear flex line by hand. Using a 10mm wrench, tighten the fitting at the right rear flex line. Using a 13mm wrench, tighten the outermost fitting into the wheel cylinder and then use a 14mm wrench to tighten the inner fitting. Use a 13mm wrench to remove the 2 threaded fittings on the left rear flex line and the wheel cylinder. Remove the line from the vehicle. Install the new LinesToGo brake line into place and start both threaded fittings into the wheel cylinder and the left rear flex line by hand. Using a 10mm wrench, tighten the fitting at the left rear flex line. Using a 13mm wrench, tighten the outermost fitting into the wheel cylinder and then use a 14mm wrench to tighten the inner fitting. Place the coolant surge tank back into position. Install the fuse box back into the vehicle by replacing the electrical connectors and then tightening the corresponding bolt located at the top of the fuse box using a 7mm socket, being careful not to over-tighten the bolts. Replace the lower fuse box mount and connect it to the fuse box by lining up the upper and lower sections and squeezing them together until the plastic clips secure them. Replace the 2 positive terminals at the front of the fuse box and secure the jump start post using a 10mm wrench. Replace the electrical connector located at the rear of the fuse box. Install the return line onto the coolant surge tank and replace the spring clamp. Slide the powertrain control module and transmission control module into the front section of the fuse box bracket. Using a 13mm socket, tighten the 2 lower bolts securing the fuse box. Replace the plastic fuse box cover and the plastic cover over the modules. Replace the engine cover and secure it with the oil cap. Bleed all 4 wheels, making sure to keep the master cylinder reservoir topped up. Replace all 4 wheels and torque the wheel nuts using a 19mm socket. Using a 10mm socket, reconnect the battery located in the trunk. This concludes the installation of brake lines on a 2008 Chevy Cobalt with LinesToGo part number BL255A-SS. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or would like to purchase the lines you saw today, please call us at 1-855-781-5992. Email us at info@linestogo.com or check out our website link below. And don't forget to take advantage of our free 2-day shipping. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe button below, and we will see you on our next video.